what setting I have it on. Stream, no output. Really? I wonder if I can do that right now. YouTube says you should stream at 2,500 kilobytes per second. Maybe it'll make the change now. Who knows? But what is up, guys and peeps? The current. Hi, Jamie. Trying out this new concurrent viewers. You couldn't. YouTube has like this. They have been for a while implementing this whole. Basically the Creator Studio, which is where you manage YouTube accounts from, but they have this dashboard for live streams, and I was for the longest time just using the classic live streaming option, just because obviously comfort is everything, right? But figured tonight I would try this out. And it's easier because everything's right here in one spot. Oh wait, that's right. There we go. Wait, I wonder if this chat's gonna work, or if I'm gonna have to put in like a new chat. Because currently, it's not showing you guys this chat in my window. Might have to reset that up since I'm using a different... But what's going on, people? Jamie Adventure, which I know that's not your name, but what's up? Cheryl, John, Danny, and Rhonda. What up? I guess it's not going to show me you guys' chat today. Oh, I just have to take chat window out for today. Oh, I am going to have to change it. This is a new pop-out window. Let me see. Pop-out chat. I'll fix it. Watch this. I think I can fix it. How has you guys this week been going, though? You guys been doing anything crazy? Anybody land any clients this week? Studio.YouTube. I'm not sure if this is actually going to do it. I think it is, though, but we'll see. Alright, we're going to do that. Oh, crap, it already had the HTTP. Okay. Let's see if that works. Oh, I got it. Don't worry, guys. I got it. All problems resolved. Shotgun saying, determined soul, Tahir, Kashif. What's up, guys? How are y'all? Gonna get started here in just a second. I think we're a little early. Oh no, we're right at 9 o'clock now. We did start a little early. Anybody ever been to Witch Witch? Do they have a Witch Witch near you? Like, one of my favorite sandwich places ever. You got the link to the mentorship program, but it didn't work. Meaning, did you win one of the free ones? One of the giveaways that we did? I can't remember if you won or not. I'm pretty sure I remember giving one away to you. But if I didn't, then I just need to send you the site URL. Not even trying to get clients yet. Learning. Cheryl, that is the smartest way to do it. It's what I tell people all the time. It's what we talked about a lot last week, was making sure that you... And I think in our mentorship program, we talked about that a lot because we had an open Q&A session in the mentorship program. And so a lot of the questions are obviously a lot of the time about landing clients. And so that's what we were actually talking about, was when it comes to selling those services, the more you understand about that service, but not only that, the business, the client's industry, the more you understand about all of that, more likely you are to land that client. But I also want to show you guys something today. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through a live example of something today that a lot of you need to be able to do this if you're an entrepreneur with any aspect of your business, not just getting the clients, but with marketing campaigns, with financial decisions, with everything that you do with your agency. You have to be able to kind of perform this type of analysis to be able to determine where issues are coming from. And that's going to tell you what you need to do to make an adjustment so that way you can do better, right? And a lot of people don't necessarily, this technique, but you don't know that you know this technique. You just kind of have to be shown. So I think we're going to do that tonight. Ultra, if you were a mentorship winner, okay, yeah, you won last week with another person. So if the link didn't work, just message us back again and tell them that it didn't work, and they will send you a new link. But I promise you, we'll get you one that works. But yeah, if the link didn't work, just shoot us a message back and tell us it didn't work. We'll get you a new one. Debbie, what's up? I've been doing SEO for my first client for about a month now, trying to figure out how to approach about upselling a social media campaign. So Determined Soul, you're not far enough in to be trying to upsell yet. When you land a client, you don't go and 2 months later, you're already trying to upsell them. And the reason why is because a lot of the time after 2 months, you still haven't even made them their money back yet. You might have maybe just broken even, right? So they're not willing to spend money or more money until they see consistent results. So I don't recommend trying to upsell until about, at the very earliest, usually the third month. But more than likely around the 5th to 6th month of working with them is when you want to start trying to upsell more services and other things. Now, if you know they have the budget and they don't currently have anyone doing social media marketing, in all honesty, you just should have sold them that in the first place. That's my opinion. I wouldn't have left that off the table. I would have tried to include that to begin with. And maybe you did, so I'm not 100% sure. But if you've only sold them SEO and they're not already on board and considering doing social media marketing, it's going to be a hard sell for you because, again, you haven't provided any results yet. And since you're doing SEO, usually you don't see results for 3 to 6 months. So that's the other thing is you won't be able to really show them true massive results that are impacting their bottom line. Jarrell, what's up, dude? Vishal Goldsmith. Hey, Jordan, I've listed you in my list. I've listed you in my list. What is your list? Do you make 7 figures? We're on track to make 7 figures. We might miss it at least by a little bit this year, but I would say that by next year, we will probably do 7 figures. Will be our first 7-figure year, which is actually kind of perfect with when I first started my companies, I, said at about 3 years was when I wanted to start making that 7-figure type of income because, obviously if I can get there sooner, I want to do that, but I don't believe in rushing it because when you do, you usually mess something up, right? And so I would much rather slowly get there than try and rush it and mess something up or make a bad name for myself, create a bad reputation, anything like that. So eventually we will be there, I would say very soon, probably more like next year. Does your Facebook and marketing masterclass include a Facebook template? What do you mean by a Facebook template? That could mean so many different things. But I mean, our Facebook marketing and mastery class is everything Facebook marketing. It's, how to create and set up pages, how to manage them on Business Manager, how to create ad campaigns, how to create all of your audiences, all of that different type of stuff. Pixel setup, everything. In profit or revenue? That's just revenue, so not profit margin. We're not at 7 figures in profit yet. It's a process, ladies and gents, and 7 figures is a beast to get to. And then, from 7 figures, we want to look to 8 figures, and that's an even bigger beast to try and tackle. So, and it's been awesome though. Like, the entire journey is really cool because you start off with a business where you have practically nothing because that's what you're starting with, is nothing, right? But then over time, all of the effort that you put in, all of the commitment and the hard work that you put into that business does start to grow and make these big changes. And then you start to, like, I remember in the beginning, we were just focused on setting up services that we wanted to offer and creating the brand and trying to find clients, but also at the same time running Serial. It's just like we were focused on completely different things, where now I'm focusing more on building solid systems and building a solid team and foundation for everything that we're trying to basically build into that 8-figure business or 7-figure business, right? So it's been crazy because, like, your mindset of what is a priority shifts, and I can already see that by next year my mindset is going to shift again towards a different priority, because as you grow, different things come up that you have to take care of that weren't necessarily important in the beginning because you didn't have the means, or you didn't even really have the need for whatever it is that you're trying to do. So, like, for example, with what I'm working on with Process Street and internal operations and setup of all of these softwares that we use, all of this stuff it's not something that I would have done in my first year. It's not something that would have made sense for us to really look at in our first year because we didn't have the budget, nor did we really have the need. But that need does come very quickly. What's difference between your course and Billie Jean is marketing? Billie Jean focuses a lot more on ad creation and running campaigns, where we have not only the ad creation and campaigns, but as you can see with what we do with our channel, we also have a strong background in content marketing. So we teach obviously a lot on content marketing. I don't believe that Billie Jean teaches anything about SEO because not that he doesn't know that it works, because he does know that it works, but he's not a big user or fan of free traffic, otherwise known as organic traffic, which is SEO and content marketing, all of that stuff. So that would be, I would say, the biggest differences. But trying to think of anything else because I haven't looked at Billie Jean's course in a long time. He gave it to me forever ago when he and I set up a talk, or we were talking. I think we were on it was a Facebook live stream, and he and I got to talking. Anyways, I haven't looked at it in a while though. Likely closing my first client next week. Oh, by the way, guys, before we get any further into this, since we have about 19 of you watching, just do me a favor. If you guys have ever benefited from watching one of these SMMA Q&As, or if you've ever benefited just from anything that I've put out, I guess as far as content is concerned, just do me one favor. People always ask me how you can give back, and one of the best things I like, really, guys, is just that quick thumbs up right below this video, because it helps my channel reach out to other agency owners who are struggling and need help and want to learn as well. So if you would just hit that thumbs up button, and if you haven't done that yet or done so yet, write a comment, at least writing your name in there, because a lot of you don't use your name as your user tag or your username. So write your name in there and say hello, and just be polite. But also hit that thumbs up button for me. That would be great. I really appreciate that. We spoke for an hour and she was referred to me. She owns a beauty brand, wholesale DTC through Shopify, wants web design, but interested in social media marketing. Michael Muniz, that sounds like it's a pretty dope client. You also put, do I overwhelm her with web design and social media marketing all at once? She's only using influencers, and she's paying some influencers up to $3,000 per post. Jesus. Yeah, so it sounds like she might have the budget for you to do both. I would definitely go for both. I would get that web design, and I would try to get even web management, so that way you're managing her site and keeping it up to date each month. That's a monthly cost that you'll get that's recurring every single month for web management. And then the other thing is social media marketing. Here's what you have to understand. You have to first ask yourself, does she have a large enough audience and brand to where she can just post content and generate leads and sales from that? Meaning she's going to have to get a ton of organic engagement on the content that you create for her. If that's possible, then social media marketing and content management's fine. But if she doesn't have a massive audience already on Facebook, and she doesn't have a massive brand or following already, then I strongly recommend that you get her to buy ads or social media marketing and ads as a package. So not just the marketing side of it or management side of it where you're managing the page, but also running ads for that person, because there's no point in doing social media marketing if we're just doing it to post, right? There really is no benefit behind that. Unless, again, you have a large audience that will engage automatically, organically, without the need to have an ad placed in front of them. Because that's where a lot of people mess up, man. They go in to a client and, like, let's say, for example, let's say an accountant. They go into an accountant's office and they say, hey, I do social media marketing. And they're like, oh, yeah, social media marketing. We need that because it's important, which, yeah, they do need social media marketing. But you go into it, or, I'm not saying you've necessarily done this, but a person will go into that accounting office and pitch them a proposal just to manage their social media accounts. Meaning, like, we're going to manage your Instagram account, your Facebook account. We're going to post to it and respond to comments and messages, which is great. But that's not really going to drive any sales. Like, it will drive sales from people who reach out to the page and send a message or comment, and that you can potentially get from there. But that's not really you doing, that's already people, that's inbound marketing. Like, that's them already coming to you. We're talking about outbound marketing where we're sending out ads or we're posting content and it's drawing people in because of what we're posting. So the big thing I would say is just make sure that if you're going to do that, that you think it through, I guess, as far as whether she's going to need ad campaigns or not for social media marketing to even matter. And most of the time, the majority of the time, like I'd say 90% of businesses that are on Facebook do require ads at this point, because most businesses cannot just post content on Facebook anymore and build a massive brand and get a ton of sales from it. Back in the day you could, because Facebook's organic reach was like 30%. So I could post something from a business page and reach 30% of all the people who liked my page. It's pretty freaking good. So if I reach 30%, they have an interest in my product, that's going to mean a lot of organic engagement, meaning it's going to boost it to everyone else who likes my product. And if it's a really good post, right, then it's going to show it or start showing it to other people who don't even like my page, right, but who have an interest in that specific type of product or service. So that's how it used to work. Unfortunately, it's not that good anymore. Would you ever do a 3.0 course? Because Chief, I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, I think the idea now is to start moving towards where we do more of it, because what everybody, in at least in the industry, is starting to do is kind of shift towards like a monthly subscription. And it's also kind of what I want to do is get to the point where I have other trainers who I hire and pay to do training in specific industries, and that would be live training every single week on different topics. And eventually I'd like to even get a place in person, like a physical location, like a big warehouse, and we kind of make it into this cool, like, kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like a co-working space, but not a co-working space. It's going to be an educational facility where we're actually running classes and doing live marketing campaign training, stuff like that. That's what I really want to work towards. But that's several years down the road. So I couldn't tell you if we're going to do a 3.0, but I do know that I have no choice but to continually update content because the industry continues to change. And just because the industry is going to keep changing doesn't mean that people aren't going to still want to come in and start running an agency, because it is super profitable if you know how to do it the right way. What up, Tim? It's $175 for a year, correct? The Facebook course. No, so Ultra, it's $175 one-time payment. That's it. And I really recommend if you're about to pay $175 for every year and just continue to pay it. Honestly, that might be one of the better. Never mind. I'm not even going to go into that. But the point I was trying to say is you should actually just look at getting the digital marketing school if that's the case, just because the digital marketing school already includes everything that's in the Facebook course that we sell. So all we did was we took all the Facebook content from the digital marketing school, we separated it out, and we sold the Facebook program separately. So kind of up to you guys what you want to do, or up to you what you want to do there. But if you want to get that plus everything else, it's already included in the digital marketing school. Thanks for responding, Vishal. Not a problem. What's your opinion on Aman Gadzi? I think he's a very smart kid. I think he's definitely someone that you can learn from. I haven't seen his program, and I haven't talked to anybody who's taken his program, so I don't really have an opinion on that. But from what it seems, he does very well with his own brand. He runs decent campaigns, and apparently he has a bunch of clients who are happy. So, I mean, I can't knock the guy. And he's young. I think he's like 21 years old, if that. Adventure's name is Eric. Cool, Eric, nice to meet you. Because I never would have guessed Eric. She has a 10,000 customer email list. I plan on going with Facebook ads, upload list, create audience, then lookalike audience. That's my plan. Thanks for answering. Love your content. Michael, not a problem. Just know that it is definitely more complicated than that, especially like even with lookalikes. It's a little more complicated than that, and just make sure you do a ton of testing, but that would be my approach to it as well. How Kevin David is outperforming others in this space. I'm not sure what you mean. Excuse me. Stumbled across your video a few days ago. I've learned so much already. Thanks. That's all. Just thanks. What's your name, Janae? Janae, I'm happy to help. Thanks. I just want to say that. That's all. All right. Thanks. Bye. What do you recommend for starting price for monthly SEO website maintenance? He wants to keep me for ongoing website maintenance after contract is up, but we haven't discussed a price yet. All right, so website maintenance, I just want to make sure this is clear to determine sold. Website maintenance and SEO are two separate things. Like website maintenance is making sure that all of the coding on the site is up to date, any plugins are up to date, any third parties that you're incorporating into the site, everything is up to date and functioning properly. Any changes to the way the actual website is structured, there's several things that you do with website maintenance, whereas SEO is more, all right, we're going to look at updating local listings, or are we doing keyword research and optimization, page optimization. But that's the thing with a local client, let's say that local accountant again, right? Once you set up their website, there isn't really too much more SEO optimization you need to do on the site, unless they're creating a ton of blog content. But for the most part, unless they're a massive accounting agency, like I'm talking massive, like controls or has offices all throughout, let's just say the Southeast US, right? That would be massive. You wouldn't really want to create a ton of content for an accountant. You would just create all of the web pages that they need to rank. From there, you're going to focus, as far as SEO is concerned, more on local SEO. So making sure that local listing sites are showing the correct information, building quality backlinks to the site, right? Things like that are going to be more what you focus on. So it's not really the same service. But as far as price is concerned, yeah, because that was your question. As far as pricing is concerned, what I would say is try to figure out an hourly rate for yourself that you'll charge for web design services or maintenance, and how many hours you're going to incorporate into that service. And same thing for SEO. If you're going to do SEO each month, how many hours of SEO marketing are you performing on their site or for their business each month? And then what's your hourly rate? That's really what you need to look at. Or what's the hourly rate you're going to charge clients for that type of service? I'm thinking about doing real estate or salons, and I don't know which niche to pick. Having digital marketing for a specific niche would be nice. Are you talking about like doing marketing for other marketing agencies? Like going into another digital marketing agency and saying, hey, can we do your marketing? What do you think about Joe Soto? I think Joe Soto was probably one of the only guys that I actually liked that was from Ty Lopez's program. And it was because he was so transparent and gave so much great information when he taught. It wasn't just fluff. You could tell he actually had experience doing what he was doing. So I like Joe Soto. Can outsource PPC management to India for a client here in Chicago. C. Clark, you definitely can. And I hope that none of my Indian friends or followers will take this to heart. But in the U.S., it usually works better, in my opinion, to use a U.S.-based contractor, or at least someone who is English speaking and like native English speaking, like the UK, Canada, the US, places where English is like the primary and first language, like native language for the majority of people in that country. And the reason why is because PPC targeting is all about keyword targeting, and the way that people say things in the US versus the way someone might say it in India is a little different sometimes, which can definitely affect the way you build out your campaigns and your targeting. So I definitely, again, I have no problems with outsourcing to people in India, but you have to be careful with things where language is part of the campaign, because it's what, you're relying on someone who doesn't speak the same language as you, or at least didn't have that as their primary language. So there's just complications there. So you definitely can. Can I outsource PPC, man, or SMMA? So, C. Clark, just so we're aware, or we're clear here, SMMA stands for Social Media Marketing Agency. So you're not actually outsourcing social media marketing agency. You'd be outsourcing, unless you mean social media marketing ads, because that's what SMMA could mean. But nobody ever means that. We know what it means. Point being, you wouldn't outsource SMMA, right? If you're talking about outsourcing social media marketing, you're still not even just outsourcing social media marketing. What you're actually doing is and this is where people mess up. They think, okay, well, I can just outsource social media to one person and they're going to manage all the jobs. No, it's not how it works, because you have to think, okay, well, what jobs are required for me to create social media marketing campaigns? Well, let's look at the fact that, let's just look, if I'm looking at page management and content creation. Well, we need someone who can do strategy and planning. We need a copywriter. We need a designer and video editor. We might need a videographer or photographer to go out and do shoots. But again, they have to pay for that. They're not just getting that included because we're managing their marketing campaigns, right? Going out and doing photo shoots and video shoots, if you're going to do that for a client, you need to charge for that. So those are just a few of the positions, right? And then we could even look at analytics and reporting. That could be someone that you need to put on the team to potentially, if you're running ad campaigns for social media marketing, you need someone who's able to do ad management and setup and creation. And you also need someone, again, who would do analytics and reporting, copywriting, videography, video editing. All of that stuff is what you're actually outsourcing to run a social media marketing campaign. So the issue is, where people really mess up, is they go on to Upwork, like I just mentioned, and they try to hire someone to do all of that. I mean, think about that, guys. I really want you to think about that. Would you be able to do video editing like a pro, photo editing like a pro, copywriting like a pro, strategy and planning like a pro, analytics like a pro, all by yourself? Yes, that's possible. But to become an expert, we're talking an expert, not just someone who knows how to do it. And I feel like that's one irritating thing to me. Like, people think they're an expert at something because they looked at it for 45 seconds. Like, I'm talking true expert, like someone who really wows you when they do the freaking thing. Like, that's an expert. Okay, so you can't just expect one person, especially like going to India and saying, okay, well, cool, I get this whole thing for $5 to get this person who's going to do all that. You really think that there's a person out there who's going to do all of that and be the expert, best guy out there, and do it for $5 an hour? It's just not. It's not realistic. It does not make sense. But that's the first thought that a lot of people have when they go out there to start hiring for a service. That's what you think, and it's just not. It's not realistic, and it's not effective. You're not going to be able to get the results that you're looking for. And then a lot of people, here's the funniest part to me, is people will say that the VA sucked. And it's actually, if you want me to be honest, you sucked, because you didn't take the necessary steps and set up the right things for it to go the way you expected it or the way you envisioned it, right? So I want you guys to really think about that. Any service that you're about to provide, whether it's social media marketing, whether it's email marketing, whether it's content marketing, you need to think about all of the different positions that you need experts for. That's like a big lesson that we've actually put together in our program, is just a lesson on what positions you potentially need to hire for, and what campaigns or what types of marketing, or really what services or what roles or positions will be needed for specific types of marketing campaigns. We spent a whole lecture just going through that, because it's important. And I'm telling you, that's a big area where people mess up. They just go on Upwork. I need someone who can do SEO, PPC, email marketing, social media marketing, and web design. You want somebody who could do all of it? Like, what? It blows my mind. It's like going to, I don't know, it's like going to a baking, someone who's like a baker and saying, hey, I need you to cook me a gourmet 5-star French cuisine. I don't know how to cook French cuisine. I bake, right? Like, I might be able to kind of, wing it and try it, but I'm not necessarily going to make the best French cuisine you've ever had. So, anyways, what's in the mentorship program? The mentorship program, basically, when you start off, as soon as you jump in, I think you get access to like 12 training videos. So you'll get our most recent 4 live streams that we had. And then you'll get there's 8 videos in there that we set as preset videos that are just not basic trainings, but pillar trainings, I guess, meaning that it's something super important to running your agency, whether that be a marketing concept or an operational concept, pricing, whatever. So you get that automatically, and then every single week on Wednesday we run a live stream inside of a private Facebook group where you can join in and ask questions. And so like today we had, or not today, but yesterday I think we had and that's the thing, we have over 100 people in the mentorship group, but the live streams are great because I don't know why, but I guess people just like the training, which is, I mean, that makes sense too, but if I was paying for it, even though it's only $10 a month, because that's the other best part, it's only $10 a month. If I was paying $10 a month, I'm gonna hop on those live streams and get those trainings. But we only had 10 people, I think, out of the 120 something people that we have in the mentorship program. So you get really good one-on-one training time. Like right now, we have more people on this call than people who hop on the live training calls, which they're paying for. So it's kind of funny, but you'll get good one-on-one access with me where you get to ask questions. So the mentorship program is really one of the best deals out there. You're getting 50 videos, over 50 videos for $120. Now, that does mean 50 something videos over the course of a year, so you get them a lot slower. That's why the digital marketing school, and you don't have the full structure and setup, obviously. Digital marketing school is pretty much like getting that mentorship program crammed into one big course instead of throughout a year. How can you join the mentorship program? Hang on one sec, I'll grab the link for you. Also, if you just go right below the video in the description, you'll see a link for serialentrepreneur.academy. You can just click that. And if you go under courses and then build a digital marketing agency, you'll see the monthly mentorship program. But I will also include the link right there. So I just put the link in the chat for you in case you guys want to check it out. Where are we at? Kevin David is doing 8 figures, I guess. Yeah, Kevin David has also been in the industry and doing what he's been doing for a very long time. I think he's been in it for like 7, 8 years. He's become a really prominent and popular figure over the last, I'd say, 2 to 3 years, but he's been doing what he's been doing for the last 7, 8 years as far as e-commerce and doing the drop shipping thing. As far as agency stuff, he just started putting out training on agency stuff, but I'm going to assume he's probably had clients in the past. But I know that marketing agency style stuff isn't his primary business because I know he does a lot more e-commerce. Kevin David's actually one of our partners. If you go to the mentorship program, or not the mentorship program, sorry, the personal branding course that we have, Kevin David actually did some guest training in the personal branding program that we put together. Kevin's a smart guy, but that's why we work with him, because we know he's smart and we know that he knows what he's talking about. That's one of the best things about our program too, is when we work with people, we make sure that these people really know what they're talking about. They're not just like, some random guest trainer. Usually these people, like, before we even let them talk to us about being a guest trainer, they have to have a minimum of like 6 years experience in the industry and a proven track record that can back that up. Does your Facebook course cover dynamic advertising? I think it's so complicated and time consuming. Am I wrong? How much would you charge for this? You think the dynamic ad stuff is complicated? Because all dynamic ads are doing is basically just showing people products that they viewed on a site. So if I visited your website, the ad that shows is going to show the product that I visited on that website. That's it. It's going to show that exact product, and we know that based on the URL. So the biggest thing is making sure that you have the pixel set up properly, because if you don't have the pixel set up properly, then you're not going to be able to run dynamic ads. That you have your catalog set up so that all of your products and services are listed on Facebook, because you have to have the catalog set up to run dynamic product ads. And then from there, you just create the dynamic ad inside of Facebook, which I believe the ad objective is catalog sales. You have to use the catalog. Yeah, it's catalog sales. You have to use the catalog sales ad objective to be even to be able to use the dynamic advertising feature. So make sure you're doing those few things right. But yes, it can be complicated. How much would I charge for it? I mean, we do a percentage of ad spend. We also do a flat rate. Depending on how much they're spending, it's either a flat rate and then we work up to a percentage of ad spend. So it just kind of depends. Trey, he asked, is it better to build a team first or just outsource? You're going to be doing a mixture of both in the beginning, in my opinion. That would be the best way to do it. You're trying to outsource and find, if you have a client that you get and you can't manage, obviously, all those services, you're going to have to outsource. And you won't be able to hire internally necessarily at first. Maybe you have a business partner that you're working with and y'all are splitting things. That's great. But you're going to start with outsourcing, and as soon as you possibly can, start bringing in people internally, because you have to have that internal team. I got something in my eye. That kind of hurt. Is it better to build a team? Oh, just ask them. Hey, what about HVAC? I don't know, Tim. What about HVAC? What you mean? Is it a good niche to go after? Hell yeah. They got tons of money to spend, and they spend it on digital. They are not afraid to spend money on digital. So if that's what you're asking, yeah. Other than that, I have no clue what you want to know. So you tell me. What about it? What do you mean? The 10,000 hour expert. Yep. 3 people turned me down because they wanted me to do web design, SMMA, and SEO for $15 per hour. Yeah, they crazy. Like, that's the thing. In the U.S., you know, an agency's hourly rate can range anywhere from, I've seen as low as $75 for a cheaper agency, upwards of, you know, the big top-notch agencies, they're charging, you know, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 per hour. But those are top-notch agencies, and they only work with, you know, multi-million-dollar clients. Like, they'd work with, like, I don't know, Beyonce, because she can afford to pretty much pay for anybody, and she just wants the best of the best, right? You're paying for, it's like paying for Nike versus Reebok at that point. But the typical agency range, at least in the US, is around $125 to about $175 per hour for services performed. So I hope that helps you see. And here's one thing I want you guys to get, because a lot of you guys are not from the US. If my rate is $150 here in the US, you need to take that and convert it to your currency. All right, so what is $150 US in, I don't know, rupees? I don't even know. Like, or in pesos, what would that be? I might be sounding completely ignorant because I don't know anything about other countries' currencies. I don't pay attention to that. I could be sounding real ignorant right now. I have no clue. But you guys get what I'm saying. You need to convert the cash from US dollar to whatever currency is in your country. We're just going to leave it like that. And that way you don't sound too ignorant, Jordan. Are there some things that everybody should aim to outsource first or something like that? I'm learning all those 3 things right now. So things you should outsource first. Yeah, scheduling your content should be outsourced first. Copywriting, because writing in general is time consuming as hell. So if you can outsource, and it's cheaper to outsource than a lot of other services. I like outsourcing ad management because ad management is super time consuming, and there's a lot of small intricacies that go into running a super effective campaign. And if you mess up one little thing, it can mess up the entire campaign. So I like to outsource. I look at things and say, what is going to take the most out of, what's going to require the most time for me, but also which ones are the most cost effective to not have to do myself. And those are typically the services that I try to start outsourcing first, because I don't want to have to do anything that's super time consuming. That way I can have more time to focus on other things, obviously, for the business. Can a 17-year-old start an agency? Of course they can. I know I've seen a few 16-year-olds that are actually running agencies and doing really well for a 16-year-old. I want to buy it, but I'm hesitant. What are you hesitant about? Tell him, Andy. I totally agree with you. Martin DeMarte. Glad I could help. And that's the thing, too. I thought it was pretty cool, too, because we started this SMMA Q&A thing forever ago, and it's only grown every single, month. It starts to reach more and more people, and people tune in. Not everybody makes it every week, but we get tons and tons of returning viewers and people who sit on these live streams. Like, I'm sure some of y'all even recognize each other's names at this point, because we have people who love the content and the questions that we get on this live stream. So I'm really happy about it too. I think it's really beneficial for all of you guys who are trying to start your agency, no matter what stage you're at. I feel like this type of Q&A session and discussion is super effective for learning more about the material. It even lets me, I like it because it gives me I guess it gives me a refresher, like pretty much all the time. So, this is interesting, guys. This whole like new dashboard I'm using. I'm sorry, I'm like getting caught up in this. What is this? Create highlight video? What is a highlight video? I gotta check some of this new dashboard stuff out. Like sitting here opening new toys in front of you guys. My team, I think we have 22 or 23 people who work on our team now. Okay. So, really quickly, guys, I have a question for you. Kevin, next 20 years, I couldn't tell you. Because 20 years, with how quickly tech is advancing, 20 years is going to look completely different than what it looks like today. Like, we might have flying cars by then. So, I couldn't tell you what digital marketing will be like in 20 years. I do know that businesses will always need marketing. So whether it's digital marketing or a more advanced version of digital marketing, you know, it develops into something bigger and better. That's really where I would see it going. But it's not, marketing's never going to go away because businesses always need marketing. And whether you're doing it digital or, you know, some new type of marketing comes up in the beginning, or not in the beginning, in 20 years, then you know, you just kind of transition as things go on. That's the thing with your agency, with any business you create, you're never going to be stagnant. And when you become complacent is when you start to really fall behind. So you have to continually be trying to improve and stay on top of new advances. That's why TV stations, they started to sell digital marketing services, right? So, for example, the station I worked at in Jacksonville was primarily a news network, but we sold marketing campaigns. We were also a very large marketing agency because that's what, you know, pretty much any TV agency or TV brand or media brand does because it only makes sense to do that. You're selling commercials anyways, you might as well run marketing campaigns. So, what did a bunch of TV companies do? Well, they realized, well, shit, digital marketing's pretty huge. Building websites and search engine optimization and social media marketing, these things are huge. We might as well offer them or add them to our service offering. So that's all they did. Now, TV agencies or media brands are adding digital marketing and selling digital marketing services. So you have to kind of go with the growth and with the change, if that makes sense. I'm actually in the gym working out and watching this. Nice. Analysis paralysis. That can be a big thing. I definitely know what you mean there. Kevin Bean, of course. If it didn't teach Facebook marketing, we would not. I promise you right now, if my digital marketing school didn't have Facebook marketing in it, we would have never made it to where we are. Like, people would have been buying the course and be like, yo, this fool says he teaches how to start an agency, and he doesn't even teach you how to run Facebook ads. How much is private mentorship? Inner circle? Dylan, private one-on-one is much more expensive just because obviously we have over 1,000 students now, several thousands and thousands of people who are subscribers or followers, so we get messages and people who want mentorship all the freaking time. So I had to make it to where I wasn't just selling a freaking $100 one-on-one mentorship for an hour-long session because I would never have any free time ever because everybody would pay for those. And it's just not the best use of my time for $100 an hour. So they're a little more expensive, but if you want to do something like a one-on-one mentorship, all you need to do is reach out to us at facebook.com/serial entrepreneur or send us an email at info@serialentrepreneur.academy, info@serialentrepreneur.academy, and we can discuss one-on-one training with you there. Okay, guys. So, and last quick response, Kevin. You being a minor has nothing to do with how you charge your clients. Whether you're a minor or whether you're an adult, you have to have a business license and a tax ID. That's it. Like, to run a business, you have to have your licensing in order and your tax ID. And from there, you can charge whether you're 16 years old or 42 years old. Doesn't matter. Like, being a minor, there are tons and tons of kids who run businesses. But if you guys are ready to try and win the mentorship program, I need you to do me a quick favor. I need you to hit that thumbs up button right below this video. If you're on mobile, all you got to do is close the chat window really quick and you'll see the thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button. If you're on desktop, you should see it a lot easier. If you want to play, if you don't hit that thumbs up button, you don't qualify to win. So you better make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and also write a comment saying, hell yes, I'm ready, or yes, Jordan, I'm ready to play, or dude, give me the mentorship, whatever you want, but just let me know in the comments that you are ready to play. Let me look up a question, because I always do this. I like sit here and wait for y'all to respond, and then I don't look up a question. Oh man, I never went through that planning. We'll do that next week. I need to write a note about that. How to recognize choke points. Alright, I'll save that for next week, and we'll do that at the beginning of next week's live stream. I might just have to ask a general question. A lot of this stuff today wasn't like necessarily stuff I could pull a question from. I'm gonna guess you guys wrote that you're ready though. Dylan Smith, that would be enough, yes. It just depends on what you need, man, and how much training we're going to be doing, because that budget will get you a lot of one-on-one training, but it depends, again, on what your goals are. So if that's why, with one-on-one training, we like to get an idea of what you're trying to actually accomplish with one-on-one training. So that way we can determine what, I'm not just going to rob you and tell you, here's what it costs, because I believe that you're going to be more upset with me if I give you this cost and then you don't feel like you learned what you wanted to learn out of it. So we do an analysis. We try to determine what's going to be the most cost-effective way for us to work together and what information you're going to be able to get out of it. That way we can put something together. Okay, I know what we're going to do. We're just going to do something from my channel and one of the concepts I created. And it's actually decently easy. So, I know somebody's going to get it. But you guys are all ready. We have several likes. Okay, so the question for today is, what does SWEPS stand for? And don't worry if you get the two S's out of order, just make sure that you include what both of the S's stand for. What does SWEPS stand for? Guys, I said, what does SWEPS stand for? Not type it in the comments for me. Y'all are just trying to be quick. That's all. Y'all just trying to be quick. I know the next answer that comes in, though, is going to be written out. But I want you guys to write out what each one of those things are. Kevin Angulo, you're still missing one, bro. And Debbie, I know that you've already won, so I can't give it to you, but you were the first person to actually have it right. Kevin, you finally finished it off with SEO, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to announce you as the winner for today's giveaway, because you didn't have SEO at first. Then Debbie commented, and she's won it before, so I can't give it to her. So Kevin, I'm going to give it to you because you did finish it up with SEO after that, which is the correct answer. So, guys, in case you have never heard of SWEPS before, it's a simplified way for you to understand really what digital marketing is. A lot of people come into this and they get lost in all of the content and different types of services and everything that surrounds digital marketing and running an agency. So I created an acronym that basically summarizes everything up. The big 5 pillars of digital marketing are social media marketing, web marketing and design, email marketing and automation, pay-per-click marketing, and search engine optimization. Right? Those are the big 5. I always add plus CM in there, which is content marketing, but content marketing is kind of comprised of all 5 of these pieces. Or all 5 of those pieces are comprised of content marketing. I think that's the right way to say that. So, super important for you to learn because it helps you kind of simplify everything that you're trying to do with your agency from a marketing perspective, at least as far as a theoretical view or a theoretical outlook on what you're trying to do for a client. That's what SWEPS was created for. So Kevin, congratulations. Make sure to send a message to, wait, I'm just going to type the whole URL. https facebook.com/serial entrepreneur. Serial entrepreneur. That is our Facebook page. Just make sure to send us a message there, and we will get a response over to you as far as your mentorship program. Ultra Shotgun, if you're still on here, make sure to send us another message so that way we can get you the right link. Dylan, you are welcome. Michael says Trump is Jesus. No, Debbie, you can definitely play. You can totally play. Like, I want you to feel free to play. Like, you can totally play. I just can't give you another mentorship program, right? Because you've already won before. So I want to give it to someone new, but you can totally answer the questions. I'm like, do it. Seriously. That's why we do this. Even if you've already won, if you still want to play, because it's good, you know, a good reminder or good training for you guys, play. Even if you've won. Not a big deal. Anyways, we have someone who is clearly passionate about Trump. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments section after this video. If you have specific topics that you want discussed in a live stream, also leave them in the comments after this video is ended. Not in this live stream chat because it won't be left on a comment. So make sure it's after this video is posted. Go on there, leave a comment letting us know what you would like to talk about in one of our future videos, and we can definitely make that happen. Michael, you're crazy. All right, guys. You guys have a great rest of your week. I will talk to y'all next Thursday. Until then, Serial Entrepreneur out. Bye, guys.